probably true. He's sitting there. He had his top 8 worlds finish. He's sitting there glaring at the camera. But we're going to be bouncing this game. Listing off the teams again, we have Tapu Koko, Kartana, Raichu, Goodra, Tapu Lele and Gigalith on Adam Walker's end, while Alex Gomez is running a team of Nihilego, Tapu Bulu, Arcanine, Porygon 2, Magnezone and Araquanid.
Well, this matchup is like really interesting. Again, we're seeing the Nihilego and Tapu Bulu, both Pokemons who have dropped lately in usage, but since people forget about how strong those grass attacks from Bulu may be and forego poison coverage, so it's harder to take Bulu down these days, and Adam got that Kartana to threaten the Bulu, but again we got the Arcanine on Alex's side. This is going... Adam got a really interesting team, having a really fast mode with Raichu, Tapu Koko. Raichu got its speed doubled under electric terrain, gets a psychic strengthened by Tapu Lele's terrain, but also got options versus Trick Room. The Gigalith we have seen lately on the stream is always some kind of counter mode for Trick Room teams, and Goodra usually runs some Assault Vest set due to its massive special defensive stat, so it can take special hits like really well, for example from Nihilego, Magnezone, tank those attacks and get like really good coverage moves in Sludge Bomb, Flamethrower, Feint, Draco Meteor.
I love Goodra a lot.
There is so much.
I want to say one thing I absolutely love about Alex Gomez's team. Tapu Bulu and Nihilego, two of my favourite, I suppose legendary Pokemon you could call them in Sun and Moon, and they're both on Alex Gomez's team. But we do see a lead of Porygon 2 and Arcanine on Alex Gomez's end. Nice and bulky lead right there. While Adam Walker has led with Gigalith and Kartana. I was about to say he led with Alex Gomez, but that wouldn't have made any sense.
Yes, right off the bat, Alex probably wants to set up that Trick Room with Porygon 2, and Adam maybe got the feeling about that, that's why he led with Gigalith. Alex covers that really well with Arcanine, so Kartana doesn't want to stay in. Gigalith's attack stat got dropped. Alex maybe wants to preserve that Arcanine for later on. There are a lot of Kartanas foregoing Protect and Detect to run a Assault Vest set, so if he wants to scout moves, yeah, he has to switch out, so he does, and in comes the Goodra, scouting whether that Arcanine goes for a fire attack, but nope. Nice predict from Alex, predicting that switch out from Kartana.
Yeah, and we do see the Kartana switching out into the Goodra, not wanting to take a fire move, and we see the Tapu Bulu switching anyway, but actually this is a good position for Adam Walker here. And we see an Ice Beam onto that slot. It's not going to do quite as much damage. That's not an Assault Vest, because that would have done a lot less with an Assault Vest. And we see a simple Curse already. But with the Tapu Bulu on the field, this is a bit of a situation for Adam.
Yeah. Tapu Bulu got like so many options. If it runs Gracium C and Wood Hammer, it can fire off so powerful Bloom Dooms into that Gigalith slot. Adam Walker tried to counter a potential Trick Room by setting up a Curse, and Alex played it really well by sending in the Tapu Bulu in case that Gigalith stays in. Now it's a bit of awkward situations where you want to find out which Pokemons are faster or not. If that Bulu runs poison coverage, it threatens the Tapu Bulu a lot, and Goodra might be even faster than that Tapu Bulu because of that Trick Room we got on Alex's team, and here we go.
Yeah, the Tapu Bulu just switch out into the Magnezone, not wanting to take a potential Sludge Bomb from the Goodra, and we do see a Sludge Bomb into that Magnezone. Great switch right there, and the Ice Beam from the Porygon is going to do more and more residual damage to Goodra, and yeah, and we see the Rock Slide. It's going to do decent damage with a Curse. Wow, that does a lot less than I thought it was, but yeah. I guess that the Arcanine's Intimidate is paying off dividends right there.
Yeah, Gigalith is a +1 defensive, and its attack stat is equal to what it was at the beginning. So this is all about getting informations right now. A lot of scouting here, like Alex tries to scout whether or not that Goodra got poison coverage, and we have seen it in Sludge Bomb coming in. Magnezone is really eager to take that. I really like how Alex is trying to fish for informations to set up maybe game plans for later on and for the second or potential third match, though that Magnezone really isn't in a bad position here. The Porygon 2 really can target down again the Gudra. Let's see if it got a pinch berry, but Ice Beam plus Sandstorm may take it out if he targets it again. Gigalith doesn't do that much damage to Porygon. Magnezone could potentially just scout the moves when it runs Protect. We have seen Magnezone in the last game. It's getting popular again. This reminds me of internationals where we got Magnezone, Porygon, Tapu Bulu, and again we see the switch.
Very reminiscent of the internationals, especially the Coco Raichu on Adam Walker's end.
Yeah.
But we do see the switch into the Arcanine. The Intimidate is going to drop that attack yet again on that Gigalith, and the Flamethrower from the Gudra onto the Arcanine. Safe plays. Alex Gomez is making very safe switches right here, and an Ice Beam onto the Gudra probably again. It probably won't knock out, but with the Sandstorm, oh, it does knock out. It's actually a critical hit. I don't know if it was that big of a deal because with the Sandstorm damage it was stacking slowly and slowly, but we do see the Rock Wrecker from Adam Walker's Gigalith. Such a shame about those two Intimidates earlier, but with a Curse it's only at -1 stage of boosted attack, so the Continental Crush, not the Rock Wrecker, that's an entirely different move. But yeah, we saw very reminiscent of internationals. Continental Crush won the international, didn't it? And onto the Porygon, it's not going to do quite as much damage at the oh wow, that's so much bulk on that Porygon too. But yeah, great playing by Alex Gomez here.
Yeah, I really like how Alex is switching defensively, and although Porygon is usually not used for dealing huge amount of damages, it's the first Pokemon who slowly but consistently takes out the Gudra, and Alex is just trying to position himself where he's confident enough to really go on with those defensive switches. Now Tapu Koko comes in. Gigalith just wasted its C move onto the Porygon 2, which is now in a really comfortable position to just recover damage taken by Tapu Koko. I don't know how defensively trained that Arcanine is, but it probably is due to the team's look from Alex. Let's see if there is another defensive switch coming, maybe into Magnezone.
Yeah, the Arcanine ideally wants to stay in the back so it can deal with the Kartana that Adam still has. The Tapu Bulu does switch in, sets up the Grassy Surge, the Grassy terrain with the Grassy Surge ability so that the Thunderbolt doesn't do quite as much damage as it would have liked onto the Tapu Bulu. Alex Gomez is making very safe switches. Porygon 2 goes for the recover. Wow, Adam is struggling a little bit here, wants to really get some big moves off. And we do see the Heavy Slam actually. If it's onto the Tapu Bulu slot, that's actually quite good foresight from Adam Walker there. But with the minus attack and that's so bulky on that Tapu Bulu as well. But yeah, I think all in all that was quite good playing. Good turn for Adam, but for those turns before, he doesn't quite have the momentum to really punish that play.
No, he's now always one step behind Alex. He only got 3 Pokemon left, and Alex is just setting up defensive switches all along. The Tapu Bulu took the Thunderbolt really well. Now he could just switch out the Tapu Bulu again in favor of Magnezone, which doesn't take any damage at all from Gigalith nor Tapu Koko, or he just tries to recover health with a potential Horn Leech into Tapu Koko or Gigalith. He may ignore the Gigalith until it is down to 1 Pokemon, because it cannot touch the Magnezone at all, and now he's resetting it in favor of a Katana.
Yeah, the Kartana does switch in because it's not threatened by either of these Pokemon really. It was very threatened by the Arcanine earlier. But you see the Thunderbolt onto Porygon 2, not too much damage, and the Horn Leech onto the Tapu Koko. It's going to do loads of damage, not quite knock it out. Not much attack training on that Tapu Bulu there, but it does recover a lot of health, which is really what matters. And the Ice Beam into the Tapu Koko slot. Is it enough to KO?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Alex Gomez playing excellently.
Yeah, I really like how he totally ignored that Gigalith. Let it set up as much curses as he wants. Maybe his plan was to just Leech Seed it later on and Horn Leech and get health back, but play it even down to the timer. And I really liked how he took out the Tapu Koko. So Adam is down to 2 Pokemon. Kartana just is threatening for Tapu Bulu. It usually runs Smart Strike. Maybe Alex already knows how much Smart Strike from a Jolly or Adamant Katana does to his Tapu Bulu, and if it's going to last, he probably could go for an attack into Gigalith and again gaining half back by Horn Leeching and doing a good amount of damage. But nope. We see a withdrawal.
A simple withdrawal into the Arcanine gets that Intimidate off onto the Kartana and the Gigalith. A little bit risky just in case there's a big rock move coming out right here. But yeah, a Sacred Sword onto the Porygon. Not going to do quite as much damage thanks to that Intimidate. And we see the recover on the Porygon too. And yeah, Alex Gomez is playing safely. Does not want that Porygon 2 to go down. And I mean, so far we've only seen Ice Beam and Horn Leech on Alex Gomez's moves. But we do see the Rock Slide revealing what the Rock Z was for.
Yeah, he doesn't have to attack that much. The Ice Beam really show its how it works. Horn Leech and Ice Beam, although it doesn't have good coverage, it was enough to take out Goodra and Tapu Koko, and I really enjoy the playstyle from Alex. Like he's trying to predict what Adam is going to do and plays accordingly, and I'm really looking forward into the second match if Adam is going to transition that, maybe playing a bit more aggressively. Again, Porygon just wanted to recover potential health loss off, and Gigalith again going for Rock Slide. Arcanine avoids it. Not a big of a deal.
I think, yeah, the game is pretty much over, but I think Adam Walker wanted to see at least how much he could do to this Arcanine, and that miss is a little bit heartbreaking on the information end. Alex Gomez has played this one so well, you know, he just kept on recovering. We saw the Flare Blitz run into that Protect on the Kartana, so, you know, decent play for the position that Adam is in, but as we said, with the position that Adam is in, there's not much he can do except for try and get as much information out of Alex as possible, because he hasn't done quite a good job doing that so far.
Well, I question my own words analysis. There might have been some outs if Kartana started rolling the Beast Boost coming on, especially since there is Magnezone and Bulu in the back, and if Kartana runs Sacred Sword and Smart Strike as coverage moves, this might have been an out to just get one knockout and start from there, and then try to pick the protects correctly and start picking up knockouts, but the Kartana goes down, and
it's too late at that point. I mean, the Ice Beam and Flare Blitz went into that Kartana, knocking it out, and yeah, the curse is nice and all, but if Alex Gomez's team is, you know, that defensively bulky, you know, you can pretty much assume the Arcanine might have the Will-O-Wisp. Maybe Adam wants to try and confirm that, but even in this situation, there's no reason why Alex Gomez doesn't just switch into Tapu Bulu for the Horn Leech in the next turn.
Yeah. No, I really like that style of a team, that those defensive Tapu Bulu teams. Grassy terrain is so cool just to prevent big damage coming off from Earthquake or Bulldoze, for example, and another plus effect is that you get the same recovery as you would have gotten from leftovers, which is perfect for defensive teams like that. That Porygon gets constant recovery with which it usually cannot have due to it wearing a Eviolite. I really like that, and he covers lots of switching options as well. So you got Magnezone in the back always to prevent switching into Bull.
Especially, even, I mean, the Sand is there, but the Sand is going to be running out very soon, and Flash Cannons, even in the Sand, are going to do a lot of damage, especially because this is not an Assault Fest Gigalith, as we've seen. And we're going to see a forfeit from Adam here. You know, he had a couple turns where, you know, he did make the right play, but things didn't quite work out for him, because just from the beginning, Alex led wonderfully, and, you know, he was just a couple steps ahead of Adam all this time.
Yeah. And he didn't play too aggressively. This is maybe what you should do versus defensive teams like Alex is using. You maybe should try to make some predicts, try to guess the right switch-ins. As we have seen, Alex is usually well known for doing like really safe plays, switching safely, etc. And if Adam is trying to adapt that and maybe like sacred swording switch-ins and stuff like that, he could maybe gap the edge. Especially, I really like Katana in the matchup. If he manages to knock out the Arcanine early enough,
yeah.
Katana could really put in some work for Adam here. So I'm really wondering what Adam is going to bring. The Bulu though is like really good in the matchup for Alex, so he's probably going to bring that again. Porygon 2 worked out since there is no fighting type move on Adam's side of the field.
Yeah, a lot of defensive stuff going from Alex going there. But to recap on their teams, we have Nihilego, Tapu Bulu, Arcanine, Porygon 2, Magnezone and Arachnid on Alex Gomez's end, while Adam is running a team of Tapu Koko, Raichu, Kartana, Goodra, Gigalith and Tapu Lele. I think one thing Adam could possibly do is, with that Raichu, we saw a lot in the International Championship, he usually carried the Shattered Psyche, the Psychium Z Crystal, in combination with Tapu Lele to do loads and loads of damage.
Yeah.
Maybe Adam Walker can, pick up an early KO and then from that on, limit Alex Gomez's switching flexibility and maybe go from there.
Yeah, this is what I would do. Lele Katana really, if Lele can pressure their Arcanine enough, Katana could pick up some KOs later on, and he can still bring the Gigalith to just curses in case Alex tries to go for a trick room mode. So I don't think the match is that bad for Adam if he tries to just play a bit more aggressively and tries to go for some reads and such, because that's what you have to do versus a world-class player like Alex.
I think the Gigalith was definitely bought for the Trick Room fear, I suppose, and we didn't even see the Trick Room, we just saw Ice Beam recover on this Porygon 2. I mean, you can make an assumption that it has it, but as we were saying, we see a Raichu Tapu Koko lead this time round, while Alex still leads with the classic very bulky Arcanine and Porygon 2. A Tapu Bulu switching is not off the table. In fact, you can pretty much guess it's going to be a reality, can't you?
Yeah. Alex could switch in Tapu Bulu. Alex can set up Trick Room. If Raichu decides to go for Fake Out onto Arcanine, Porygon is free to set up Trick Room. If he decides to go for Fake Out onto Porygon 2, either Raichu or Tapu Koko could go down to a potential Flare Blitz coming from Arcanine. So maybe he wants to straight out start attacking. Maybe he wants to switch into maybe Lele and try to go for
a move right there. What was I saying there? And Tapu Lele does switch in, sets up the Psychic Surge, and I'm getting flashbacks from the International Championships. And the Tapu Bulu does switch in, sets up the grassy terrain. So if we do see the Shatter Psyche, it's going to not quite have that Psychic terrain boost. But what do we don't see the Fake Out, I suppose. And we do see the Shattered Psyche. Alex Gomez breathing a sigh of relief there that the grassy terrain is there. What do we see this target? If it's targets the Bulu, I don't think either of these targets will go down, especially without the Psychic terrain. I think Adam is a little bit upset about that, depending on which he's targeted. Yeah, it's Tapu Bulu.
Yeah. Depending on how Alex to train the Tapu Bulu, this does a huge amount of damage, but
takes it well though.
Not enough, and we see the Trick Room come in. So Alex did a really good switch by switching in the Tapu Bulu, getting his own terrain up. Because imagine that boost from Psychic terrain, that probably would have taken out something, especially the Arcanine, and now Tapu Bulu sits in a really comfortable position, being able to Horn Leech some health back, and since there is no Arcanine for Adam is like, he got no real safe switching. He can switch in Katana, but he has to guess which target the Tapu Bulu is targeting down, and in comes Goodra. Maybe Goodra got sad Sippo.
Yeah, Goodra can definitely do some work in this situation here. We do see the return onto the Goodra. Your return, that's a cool option. Wow, that does so much. But the Sap Sipper does boost the Goodra's attack. That is an excellent switch by Adam, but very good prediction on Alex's end, going for that return there. And the Tapu Bulu does go down. So, I mean, depending on what Alex Gomez has in the back, I don't quite know what Adam Walker gains out of this situation.
Well, at least he got totally the right switching. He called it the right target, and he made profit out of it. He took down the Tapu Bulu, so he can set up his own terrain later on and stop Alex from healing with grassy terrain. That Magnezone though sits in a, well, Gudra is naturally pretty bulky on the special defensive side, so that's why usually Porygon 2 they like to run return. We have seen loads of damage, so if he could double up again into the Gudra, maybe with a flash cannon plus return, it could take it out. And Alex is still in favor of speed control since he set up the trick room, and Gudra goes out. Oh, this is going to be interesting now.
Yeah, that's an interesting play right there. Tapu Lele switching in for the Raichu. Maybe that Raichu wants to do some damage with the Psychic there. The return into the Tapu Lele does so much damage, and a Flash Cannon, is that a double onto the Tapu Lele?
Yeah.
That is a double onto the Tapu Lele. It does go down. Alex is playing this one absolutely flawlessly. We might see a Psychic here. How much damage could this do to a Porygon 2? Probably a little bit, but not enough. Just nowhere near
way
enough.
not enough. Adam tries to play it aggressively, but Alex really makes his team work. It was switching out the Gudra, which is known for not having Protect, is that's really something you maybe want to avoid, since you're so open for getting that slot doubled because you cannot protect, and we have seen the damage output from Porygon 2's return, and you could guess that Flash Cannon plus return could knock out Gudra. So but he wanted to preserve that Gudra, maybe get some really nice coverage for Magnezone, and he maybe sees Gudra more of a winning condition, but there goes same attacks.
Yeah, Gudra does go down. Exact same play by Alex Gomez there. Gudra does go down, unfortunately, there for Adam. Alex giving the camera a look there earlier, saying, you know, I think I know what I'm doing. And the Psychic into the Magnezone breaks its potential sturdy ability, and we do see the leftovers on the Magnezone confirming that that particular item. It wasn't an offensive item like Gavin Michaels' famous Choice Specs Magnezone.
Yeah.
But with the Tapu Koko in the back, I believe we still have one more turn of Trick Room.
Yeah.
And with the electric terrain going up right now, it's a bit of a situation, isn't it?
Yeah, Adam is really down to the wall. Alex set up the trick room, and he really knew what to target, and Adam helped him a bit by doing the switch and switching Gudra out there, and now Alex is in a really comfortable position. He can just double target the Raichu. Raichus are usually not running Protect because they are running Fake Out, and you've got some other moves so that Porygon 2 or Magnezone could just double into the Raichu, and then Magnezone sits in front of a Tapu Koko, and Tapu Koko will not do that much damage, and Alex can finish it. But he decides to target the Tapu Koko instead.
So much, yeah. Yet another double onto that slot. The Raichu is just being left alone right here, and return and a Flash Cannon knocks out the Tapu Koko. I think we've seen that move 3 times in a row, all knocking out one Pokemon, and Thunderbolt isn't doing as much. He's just doing the exact same amount as Psychic did in the Psychic terrain. But yeah, Alex Gomez has played this one, you know, very, very safely, very, very wonderfully. I think I can't stress enough how much this is a bit of a team matchup thing as well, because it's one of those situations, especially with a Tapu Bulu, you can let it be you can let it protect the partners quite well, especially when Adam is relying on those terrains like the electric terrain and the Psychic terrain, and Tapu Bulu is definitely the anti-terrain.
Yeah, and I really like how Alex played it out. First match, he was like really all about defensive switching, seeing how much damage do I take, etc. Only doing some Ice Beam action and taking out the Pokemon. And this time he decided to set up Trick Room pretty soon and really went for double targets to knock out the Fray Pokemon Adam brought. They're all really heavy hitters, but besides the special defense from Gudra and Impart's Gigalith, those Pokemon are like really frail, and Alex really set the double targets well and knocked out the Pokemons, and here goes Raichu faints, and Alex wins the second match.
Yeah, well, Alex definitely dominated that game right there. I mean, one thing I suppose Adam could have maybe done is maybe try and protect on one of those double target turns and see if he can buy himself some time that way, but again, it's the matchup. And I must say, absolutely loving Alex Gomez's team, and he's built a fantastic team with the grassy terrain. with the grassy terrain, he's got two Pokemon there, Magnezone and Nihilego, who both have a 4 times weakness to the ground type or earthquakes, and with the grassy terrain makes up for that. So, really, really good team building by Alex Gomez.